Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Hot Joe and the Ranko Show, episode 6. Today is January 22nd, and it is 23 degrees outside. Feels like 18. Whoosh! That's why I had to put on my PBR hat. It's padded, it's quilted, so it's keeping my head warm. And I got my Trainwreck Brewers shirt on. Boom. That was my home brewing group in Virginia when I lived there. All right, so thanks for the continued support. Got a big show today. Please subscribe if you get a chance. Let's go for some coffee. Drinking out of this sweet mug. And see if anybody remembers this one. What's up, Camera 2? Class of 88. Camera 2 that's Hunter's favorite camera. Today we're drinking some Dark Magic there from Green Mountain. And good stuff. Got some new lights in the studio today, so that's kind of cool. I ordered some. I also got, let's look down here. Got me some new headphones. These will be for whoever comes on the show as a guest, or I might wear them occasionally if I don't want to wear my big Mickey Mouse ones, which I love very much. They sound great. All right. Enough about gear and stuff. So, kind of back to the positive talks and stuff like that. The other thing I meant to mention the other day was if you're on Facebook, unfollow negative people. I had to unfollow a ton of folks that posted just stuff that got me like, you just want to. So, Facebook is supposed to be for fun stuff. Like my friend Curtis posted a thing, and I'll try to link it maybe to my Facebook account. It's a video of this old gentleman who lives at a retirement home, and he used to be a stuntman and a motorcycle performer. And so the nurse, he dresses up in like an Evel Knievel thing, puts on a helmet, and he's in one of those little motorized chairs, right? And so they set up like a little board ramp, and the nurse is walking around behind him, fanning the cape, and it looks so it's just, you have to watch it. But then he runs and he just goes over the little board. It's just amazing. And so they do that like all the time. And some lady was filming it, and it'll bring tears to your eyes. It's really good. Anyway, that's what Facebook is for, right? Not for all the negative stuff. Just unfollow. You don't have to unfriend them. Just unfollow them, and you can still be friends. You can still stay connected, but just get that negativity out of your life. All right. So, last night I was writing stuff for the show, and I said, it's a man thing to, I don't know, I guess women can do it too, but I don't know how many of them do it. I was like sitting there, eating some Swiss cheese, and I was just eating it right off the knife. Is that a man thing, or is that just, dumb to eat off a knife? Who knows? All right, so let's get to everybody's favorite comedians. I had a ton of people reply to this one, so let me get my Facebook up here. So I had asked the other day, just who your favorite comedian was, and Tommy was one of the first ones to chime in. He said Stephen Wright was one of his, and entire cast of Monty Python. And I said, yeah, I love Stephen Wright. One of his favorite jokes was, today, I bought a cordless extension cord, and now I don't know where to plug it in. Anyway, but let's see. Jennifer said, let's see, who did she say? Agree, Stephen Wright is a good one. Let's see. Curtis said Gary Owen. Chris said Red Fox, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy. And anyone who hung out with Dean Martin for his shows. Yeah, those are pretty funny. Let's see. Stephanie said Kevin Hart, which I like Kevin Hart a lot. And I got a lot of George Carlin. Tina said George Carlin. And a few other did. Carol said Kevin Hart. Vince said John Mulaney. I don't know who that is. I'm going to have to check him out. Or maybe I do, and I'm just not getting it. Let's see. Don Rickles. Oh, yeah. And I'm not sure I'm pronouncing his name right. Bert Kreischer, the Machine. If you haven't ever seen that's a hilarious routine. The Machine. And then Jim said Bob Newhart. He is hilarious. That guy's very funny. Bobby said Sam Kinison, Rodney Dangerfield, Andrew Dice Clay. Hey. But I got a ton on this. Kevin said Dave Chappelle, comedian of all time, George Carlin. And then my buddy G. Michael said Robin Williams, which I have to agree with that. Very funny guy. Very funny guy. Sad that he had to go too soon. A lot of those really great comedians, it just seems like they're hilariously funny, but they've got demons, man. Patrick says Chris Rock or Dennis Miller. Mike says Jerry Seinfeld, tied with Dave Chappelle. If you haven't seen comedians get in cars getting coffee, which is Jerry Seinfeld's show, it is hilarious. It's on Netflix. And it's basically just him, and he goes and picks up comedians in different cars that he think that they would like. Camera 2, I'm shaking you. Sorry, buddy. But it's a great show if you hadn't seen it. It's on Netflix. Jill says Ray Stevens, Jerry Clower, and Blue Collar Comedy Guys. And let's see what I gotta scroll down. Charlie said Jeff Dunham. Franklin said Murphy and Clower. Williams. Let's see. And Keith said too many comedians to name because he loves them and they all have their own personality. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And then, of course, Jamie always has to throw his in. Joey from Full House. All right. So anyway, I just enjoyed reading everybody's comments there on comedians. And I love Dave Chappelle's probably my favorite. If I had to pick one that just out of everybody, he's just, man, he's so fun. I just like the fact that Ricky Gervais, I love Ricky Gervais too. I love them both for the same reason. They don't pull punches and they don't care what anybody thinks. They just go for the joke, and that's what comedy's supposed to be, right? You're going to offend people, but both of those guys are real cerebral. They kind of, you start thinking about their jokes and you're like, man, that's funny in like 4 or 5 different ways. So those Dave Chappelle and Ricky Gervais would definitely be my 2 faves. Let's get some coffee. All right, where are we? We're at 8 minutes. So today's going to be kind of random. I just had a bunch of ideas and I'm threw them on here, and some I'll get to tomorrow. So we're going to add a new segment. It's called Ask the Nephews. So these guys, I'll text them and say, hey, you guys got any ideas for the show? And they're just, it's hilarious to hear brothers bouncing off each other because they all love each other, but they are like brothers. I have 2 older brothers. They're brutal to each other. But that's just kind of how it goes. So Hunter had texted me and said, I actually really like the show today. I mean, I'm pretty bad about technology, but I can only imagine what it was like when the world was black and white when you were a kid. I'm not that old. We did have some color TV and stuff. Now we only had 3 channels, and I was the remote control. So my brothers would be like, "Dude, get up and change the channel." Right? It's like, clunk, clunk, right? And he said, also, what do you think? What do you think would win in a fight, a polar bear or a gorilla? Oh wait, I have to back up because something else started this conversation. Where is it? They were asking me what I would rather fight. They were like, would you rather fight a wolf? I think it was like a wolf or a giraffe. Anyway, so that's what got us started. And I said, I'd much rather fight a wolf than a giraffe because a giraffe would kick you one time and be game over. A wolf, at least you might, get your hands around. But so they wanted to know who would win a fight with a polar bear and a gorilla. And Houston chimed in and said, "Nope, I want the polar bear. They're bigger." And the Hunter said, "But I don't know either way. probably polar bear. I think people overestimate gorillas a little. And Houston said, "Are you kidding me? Gorillas are giant. King Kong killed dinosaurs." Oh, and so yeah, that was the kill. Yeah, all right. Here's another one for you to thing, the giraffe wolf thing. And so I chimed in and just basically said I think that the polar bear would win because it's got claws on all fours, and they weigh like 1,200 pounds. The biggest gorilla weighs like 400 pounds. I mean, I know gorillas are super strong or whatever, but I got to go with the polar bear. Tell me what you guys think. Put it in the comments below or on Facebook. All right. So that's Ask a Nephew for this show. Hopefully they'll watch today and they'll throw me some more ideas. But I just love that. It was super fun. So I had a question just up for discussion. A friend of mine has a Tesla, and I got to drive it, and wow, what an amazing car. An amazing car. We got on the interstate with it. I took my hands off the wheel and the thing stays right in the lane. And if cars are in front of you, it slows down, speeds up. If you want to turn, if you want to get over a lane, you just hit the turn signal and the car waits and does it. It's insane. But the question I have is that the future? Because my worry is, or not my worry, but my thought process says, all right, well, yeah, it's cool. You got to charge this thing up. But at the end of the day, is it better for the environment or worse? Because I keep reading horror stories about how terrible it is for the environment to mine for these batteries and the components you have to put these together with these lithium batteries. And then how do you dispose of them after the fact? And I flew remote controlled planes for years, and I have drones and stuff like that. And those batteries, if you get in a crash, man, they explode. They light up in this brilliant bright light, and it's like burning magnesium. You can't put it out. It's super hot, right? So I worry about that too. I worry about how you dispose of them and the mining process. You guys let me know what you think, and we'll have a more in-depth discussion on this later. Today I'm kind of just spitballing, to be honest with you, because I had so many things to think about, and to try to get them in 15 minutes, I'm already at 13 minutes. So there's going to be stuff that doesn't get in today. One other quick thing I wanted to touch on, and this bothers me, and I was talking to my girlfriend about it last night while we were eating dinner. I said, why do people that are in their 40s act like they're 80? Or like I just turned 50, and I don't feel like an old man. I mean, I still love to do super fun things, ride motorcycles and skateboards and all that. But people, I mean, they'll be like, oh, I'm just so old, and especially when I meet somebody who's like 35 and they're like, oh, I'm just old. I'm just too old to do that. I'm just like, if you live to be 90, you've got another 40 years. If you're 50, excuse me, you got another 40 years to live, right? So it drives me nuts when people are like, oh, I'm just too old for that. And then you see in my neighborhood, there's a dude that's like 72 who's getting ready to hike the Appalachian Trail. He comes by the other day. He's got his hiking sticks. He's backpack fully packed because he's training for it, right? He's 72 years old. This dude's not. Anyway, I don't want to be on a rant, but if you're not 80, don't act like you're 80, right? It's all up here. It's all a mental thing, right? So it's one of those positivity things, right? Don't sit there and say, oh, I'm too old to do all that stuff, whatever. You're never too old, right? If you want to do whatever you want to do it, right? So anyway, let's get to the lyric challenge. And yesterday, I believe I gotta check because I'm writing this stuff down now. Yep. Yesterday we had our winner again. I think it was Bobby again. Yeah, it was Bobby again. So I'm trying to even remember what the song was. Oh yeah, Black Balloon from the Goo Goo Dolls, 1998. That was a lyric challenge yesterday, and Bobby won that one. Good job, Bobby. Way to go, Bobby. Hey, there's a truck driving by. You can hear it. This mic is sensitive. All right, so today's lyric challenge is, here you go. You ready? We're wearing nothing, nothing but our shadows, shadows falling down on the beach sand. Remember once, out on the beaches, we wore pineapple grass bracelets. All right, that's the lyric challenge for the day. We're going to do fun fact. Here it is. This is for the nephews. We're doing fun fact. Polar bears have black skin, and actually their fur isn't white. It's see-through, so it appears white as it reflects light. Pretty cool. I did not know that. Also, tigers' skin is actually striped, just like their fur. Also, no two fur patterns are alike. All right, that's fun fact for the day. There's so much on this list, but we'll get to more. We're already at 16 minutes, so we're gonna cut it here. All right, guys. I love you. Thanks for watching. Let's get a little more coffee. Have a great day. Be nice to somebody today. And as my pops used to say, you can't soar with eagles if you hang out with turkeys. Have a great day, everybody.